Well, greetings everyone. It's Martel, it's 4:35 in the morning, and I decided to do some controversial topic. For once, feminism and incel are one side of the same coin. What I mean is, we had the battle of the genders and all that, especially in America or / West. But since I live in America, I'm going to discuss what's happening in America, you know. It's really baffling growing up. It's really sad that I never had the experience like my parents once had. A happy family, you know what I'm saying? A traditional family, a nuclear family, you know? And this one, I'm probably going to get attacked by a lot of feminists, or probably feminists of all backgrounds, colors, nationality, and all that, but I just don't care. My thoughts on feminism is a sham, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, we have women's rights and suffrage and all that, but I just don't care about the history. Alright, cool. Let me address that out the way. What I'm saying, okay, from back in the 1960s and all that, here, women's rights and all that, civil rights movement and all that. But that aside, I noticed that, I was just looking at pictures alone, this is how I noticed. They look happier from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, but further along down the line, I started noticing the behavior. Just watching some movies my dad used to watch. I think it was Turner Classic Movies or something at the time. And I know how the old school generation was raised with family, raised with nuclear family structures and all that. But you look at the generation, unfortunately, I have to be born in. And it will come off a bit negative, and I will give y'all that. It's nothing positive about what I'm going to say. I'm going to tackle the feminist kind of side. And it baffles me to hear a woman flatly broadcast, I'm saying Oprah the fat pig. You know what I'm saying? Oprah the useless, hateful, man-hating bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said it. I don't not give a damn or a fuck about Oprah. You know what I'm saying? She been a toxic bang since my existence, you know. That bitch is pure evil and hatred. I mean, that bitch is pure hatred. Something, why you feel this way about Oprah? Cause I have. I've never seen such a hateful bitch as Oprah. I'm just being real. I did remind you. This ain't nothing positive about what I'm gonna say. What kind of now looking back in my life, I remember I was sharing. The reason I'm making this video because the incel problem is really becoming a problem. But how can that with men in America? Let's just say majority of America is illegal when it comes to prostitution outside of Navarre. And the problem with Navarre and all that, not only is cross country, but it's also expensive as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Very, very expensive. Even if you do go there, it could be a bunch of setup waiting to happen. I had to make me a peanut butter and strawberry sandwich. I'm still hungry. I just don't care because I'm so hungry. And yeah, even if you go there legally, there's so much nonsense and red tape you gotta cross, you know. And even then, let's just be realistic too. Them bitches ain't worth it. But you sound very sexist. Usually you're talking about respecting women and all that. Apologies. My apologies, I had to get that out of my system, but no. You know, I think that the young men of today, including my generation, the last generation, he actually has some kind of moral background, somewhat moral fiber. That generation slowly ceased to exist too. Now you have a whole generation of degenerates and incels, you know. But this one, I'm attacking both sides of the spectrum. Without a nuclear family, without a nuclear structure, you have flat out degeneracy. It used to be a time, I guess, I was brought up by outdated parents. I made a video about that, being raised with outdated beliefs and parents and system that no longer exists, you know. So of course, the nice guy here in America is not gonna, like we already know that nice guy is not gonna get accepted anything, you know. So of course, the man had to be an asshole to get bitches, you know what I'm saying? And yes, I have changed, you know what I'm saying? It took me years to really analyze this. When I was growing up, I used to grow up around two kind of men, you know. I used to grow up around up straight, decent, respectable gentleman. That's my dad, rest in peace. The pastor, rest in peace, my uncle and all that. it also was raised by, well, let's just be real, street niggas and thugs and felons. I'm just, that's the two sides of the spectrum here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going a little overboard, and I apologize for that. You know, man, that peanut butter strawberry, so goddamn delicious, you know. I'm about to tell you, you're slowly starting to become changed, and as time goes on, some say they're right. I have changed, you know, and perhaps I have changed because, you know, you try to be a moral, a decent, standard individual. You just get called corny, gay, effeminate. No disrespect to my audience as LGBT anything, but just being real. Be right back and I wash my cup. My bad, I have to push my cup out, I have to put some soap in it. And it's time for some sugar-free almond milk. Yep, that's some silk. I definitely recommend silk. Unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Since I can't have regular milk. Great replacement for over, oh wow, been almost 15 years since I haven't had dairy milk. Back to what I was saying, back to the regular programming. Yeah, incels and feminism are the same coin. Heads and tails, you know. And quite frankly, I'm attacking feminism because it's a scam. It is a scam because it teaches women not to need men, not to appreciate men, not to value men, unless they're rich assholes and douchebags, you know what I'm saying, or criminals and scumbags. Just saying what it is. Yeah, it's seen in America, let's just be real. Outside my little lady, I appreciate her for this, but outside of her, let me speak for the majority of men today, in this day and age. You're right, that today's women don't need men, don't appreciate men. Well, guess where they gonna end up at? When you start hearing these stories of women getting attacked or abused or worse, I don't advocate this, just saying it for obvious sake. Do I feel remorse? No. I don't feel a goddamn thing. It saddens me I have to say that. It breaks my heart. I know if I was in my parents' time, I'd be called a traitor. Flat out. The way I'm discussing it, I would be flat out called a traitor. But you gotta look at this generation, especially men in America, you know, are being flat out disrespected for not having the latest fashion, not being of the latest trend, not being vain. Not based upon, well, let's just be real, appearances and looks and all that, because looks sell. I just said that in Truth Force Lonely video, that looks do matter, you know. And let's be realistic, money does matter to American women. Let's just be real. What is that? 50% of marriages end up divorce, and 80% of majority of American women initiate divorce at one given point in their life. So majority of women you come across in America that initiate divorce are traitors and scumbags. And I don't feel no remorse when they face domestic violence attacks and stuff, you know. It's disgusting coming out of my mouth saying it, but I do have my validations behind it, you know. It saddens me that if I was brought up in my parents' time, was raised and brought up in my parents' time, I'd be more remorseful, you know, I'd be more critical, less critical than this, you know. It baffles me in my 30s, my interaction outside my, you know, very little interaction with my mother and a few good female families, acquaintances, including my lady. Outside of that, you put them aside. My acquaintances were, sad to say, is a black American man. Come across my own woman, just saying for what it is, not being sexist or be degrading anything. I've been treated like shit. It is for what it is, you know. And feminism is a scam. I find it funny, speaking of feminism, I find all these so-called bra burning now with this Roe versus Wade being overturned. Now you start seeing these feminists' true color, right? You starting to slowly start seeing their true colors of how they want to kill babies, right? I mean, that was very, very graphic even for me. And I apologize for that, but I find it funny. I would say this even as a recorder nurse. You know, it kind of ticks me off when I hear about these so-called female talk show hosts, like, I don't know, Oprah, The View, or whatever talk show host that's playing out there. I don't pay attention to none of this bullshit. You know what baffles me? None of these so-called female talk show hosts ever use this entertainment as an excuse or anything. Like, I find it funny, say for instance, rappers, so forth. They blame rappers why they so vulgar, disrespectful to women and all that. But I find it funny. And of course, you know why these rappers apologize? Because they're on contracts. You know what I'm saying? They're on leases by their record labels. And so of course they have to hold the rappers, forcefully have to hold the rappers accountable. If not, they're going to lose their endorsements, they're going to lose their promos, and probably lose their livelihood, go back to the streets, you know what I'm saying? So no rappers don't want to deal with it. So of course even the cowardly Snoop Dogg or Snitch Dogg, Agent Snitch Dogg, even didn't have the backbone to even stand up to Oprah and all that. What's the last time you heard Oprah ever say, hey, I'm sorry I disrespected men and all that for 30-some years. I'm so sorry. I disrespected you, not Gayle King, bitch, or whatever the bitches from Oprah and Gayle King. Like, seriously? I find it funny. Oprah never apologizes for men hatred in any of her talk show. You know, so I noticed that. Even this old cowardly Snoop Dogg in his 50s, forced to get on his hands and knees, apologize to some sorry old outdated ass bitches. You know what I'm saying? It's really baffling and cowardly to look at Snoop like that. But hey, I can't fully even knock Snoop about that either. No disrespect to the man. I just say, I don't give a fuck anymore. And that is, you know, he's held by a contract too, you know what I'm saying? So of course he can only say what he gotta say. What's the last time you heard Oprah ever say she's sorry? They ain't using this entertainment excuse or anything, you know what I'm saying? They literally meant what they say about men. Whoever these bros is now, I don't even watch these talk shows because they're so hateful towards men, you know? And I will address this side of the incels, you know? And a lot of them would brought up environments that's not very healthy for men. And that goes back to the feminism talk show hosts, how they say they hate men, men are shit, men are no good. I'm just being obvious. This is what our woman said to us, especially as black men, you know. And you wonder what black men are dating outside the race or held down outside different cultures. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I have to make this clarification real quick. This ain't hate speech or anything. It's just my observations. Can I just say that? I'm just observing. Can I say that? My. This is really, really good. Alright. Then we got assholes. We got the incels, you know, that's very insecure incels and all that. A lot of them are forced. You know, at one given point, I was an incel, you know what I'm saying? But then the FBI started getting involved. And I have not yet done. This will be my second topic I discuss incel. A lot of them dudes need actually psychological help. But a lot of them don't know how to really express themselves, ain't really allowed to express themselves. Especially we live in a culture where this so-called toxic masculinity going on in America and all that, this Me Too movement bullshit going on. You know, and I'm forced to less tackle on the man perspective, because not just because of myself being a man. Because I see this how they really, sad to say, American women interact with men here. It's really horrifying and disrespectful. Both sides are wrong. Can I just say that both feminism and incels are wrong? You know, I'm holding both sides accountable, but I'm holding really worse on the feminism kind of side. Because now we have such a nasty generation. What I hear of young women today, and it baffles me, I have to say this out my own mouth, but to both sides, to hear a man and woman not need each other, that's a recipe waiting to happen for a psychotic to collapse. I mean, if you look at the birth rates going on, you don't hear a lot of chucking and plucking, you know what I'm saying? Just being obvious, you know? And it does baffles me when I hear about incels and all that. And speaking back to feminism, how come feminism do not speak out to people that are truly affecting women worldwide? I find it funny how bold and loud these American feminists really are, right? But when it comes to the Middle East, they don't even play that. The Middle Eastern dudes, they way more ruthless. They use these feminists heads as soccer ball practice, that's all I gotta say. And it does bother me. it does bother me to see a gender division happen, you know. And I kind of admit I'm going to get attacked by feminist groups and probably incel groups at this point, but I just don't care, you know. I ain't taking sides for either or, but I can resonate to some degree with the incel kind of part, because especially, let's just be real, you have no way to approach a bitch in America. You have no way to approach a bitch while looking like you're getting accused of Me Too movement bullshit going on with this Me Too movement bullshit. Bitches falsely accused of men of crimes and all that. Despicable crimes I can't say on YouTube. So, yeah. It does baffle me, I have to say that. I'll say that against anybody. You know, you gotta watch out for assholes and incels. Can I just be fair play against everybody? I'm not taking no favoritism on either side, you know. But I have to resonate to a degree to the incels, because especially men in America, black men in America that is, or men of color, whatever you are, whoever you are, men of disparity, doesn't matter if you're low income, high income, whatever, I don't care. Don't care. Even people with disabilities, you know, men with disabilities too, you know. Men are having it really hard, you know. Unless you're a multi-millionaire, billionaire kind of guy that you can pick up any kind of woman. Let's face facts in America. If you're not made with a lot of money, you're not made with the 666 in mind. You're not 6 feet tall. You're not making 6 figures. You don't have a 6-pack abs and all that. You just won't get accepted. And let me pour down some more of this almond milk real quick. Fresh. Martin, what do you feel this way? I yet to properly address this one, and I'm probably going to get attacked by the FBI, by this or government agents for me mentioning about incels and feminism this way, but I just don't care. If they don't kill me, at least be honest. You know? And I feel for today's young men why they feel like this. I feel for today's men that they're enraged, they have no way of expressing themselves or being masculine. They ain't allowed to be masculine, you know what I'm saying? Especially in America, you hear all this Me Too movement bullshit going on. They're attacking men for being men. They put boys on medicine and all that. Just because they're being hyper and all that. You know, and I feel for this generation of young people regardless, it's going to collapse, you know what I'm saying? Look at the birth rate. That tell you how psychotic going down. Well, America's going to be a third world country pretty soon, a couple of decades, give or take. Anyways, this is Martel, and I talked too long, and I'm out of here. Later.